Hi, my name is Nicholas Wright, and I'm a student here at Western Carolina University, and today I would like to discuss LGBTQ plus youth suicide rates and mental health awareness. But first, I would like to paint a picture for you. Imagine that you have this fire in your chest, and this fire is representative of your lifeline. As you grow older, it gets brighter, taller, warmer, and then one day you realize you're different from other people. Let's say you're getting ready for school in the morning, and you're heading out, and you hear the news station over speaking about people. There's a certain group of people they're demonizing, and they're making them seem like bad people, a disease, a plague. You realize that this group of people is something that you identify with, and it hurts you a little bit. It makes your self-confidence go down, make you wonder if you're a bad person, but you try to brush it off your shoulder. You get to school, and it feels like you have this huge target on your back, and that other people realize you're different. They begin bullying you, antagonizing you, and just making your overall presence stigmatized. This hurts you more, and your fire dies just a little bit more. And you go home. You try to find solace in your parents, but your parents are no help because they agree that this identity is bad. That was the last straw for your fire, and it gets blown out. And when your fire gets blown out, you do too. As someone who grew up in a small conservative town in South Carolina, I know what it's like to be a minority. Someone who feels stigmatized, unwanted, unloved, and always you seem to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is the case of life for many minority group members, especially LGBTQ plus youth. In an article posted by lead author Vasanti Jadva, Myers Minority Stress Theory can explain why minority members have higher rates of suicide and mental illness. This theory states that members of minorities have higher mental health issues and suicide rates because of the societal pressure that's put on them, the stigmatization, the demonization. All of this adds up and creates a bad atmosphere for these people. LGBTQ plus youth are 4 times more likely to commit suicide than their heteronormative counterparts. To show you what this looks like, I've created a diagram. For every 1 straight cisgender student in a school, there are 4 LGBTQ plus students who are going to attempt or commit suicide. The Trevor Project states that every 45 seconds in the United States, 1 LGBTQ plus youth attempts or commits suicide. To give you an idea of this number, as far as you've watched into this video so far, that means that 2 to 3 LGBTQ plus youth have committed or attempted suicide. In a study in New York City posted by nychealth.com, it is found that the student population of New York City and LGBTQ plus students has a rate of suicide attempts of 32%. Death records are 5 times more likely to mention bullying in LGBTQ plus youth, according to a Yale study. Why is this the case? Bullying, of course, is one of them. Bullying in schools is a huge problem, and schools oftentimes trying to face these challenges, but these zero tolerance policies that they're creating, we all know are failures. Why are they failures, though? According to Matthew Lynch of the Advocate.org, it is because schools do not have proper funding to maintain these programs. Schools can barely afford to pay their teachers. They can't afford to give students proper lunches or keep extracurricular activities afloat. So how can we expect them to keep a program that is considered non-essential open? This bullying doesn't only happen within the school system, but it also happens at the higher levels, such as at the political scale. Very recently in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis passed a bill called the Parental Rights and Education Bill. This bill has become known as the Don't Say Gay bill because it prohibits language explaining gender identity and sexual orientation in K-3 classrooms. This ban puts further stigmatization on LGBTQ plus youth and denies them education on identities, identity expression, and possible ways that they can understand who they could be in the future or who they are currently. What can we do to help? 1, we can make resources readily available. In making resources available to LGBTQ plus youth, we're giving them opportunities to reach out, to educate themselves, and to become comfortable in who they are. 2, we can make schools and homes safer. It is shown, according to the National Library of Medicine, that when LGBTQ plus have immense support at home, they're less likely to have suffering mental health, and they're more likely to not engage in sexual risk behaviors and substance abuse. 3, we can become a safe space. When you open yourself up to just one LGBTQ plus youth, you give them an opportunity to find love, someone who they can confide in, and someone that they can go to about anything who won't judge them or report them unless it's necessary. 4, become more educated. If you become more educated on LGBTQ plus issues, you're more likely to understand what's happening and how you can address the problem. 5, vote. Vote for politicians who are going to help LGBTQ plus youth and not stigmatize and bully them. 6, pay attention to the signs. By this, I mean pay attention to warning signs of self-harm, depression, and anxiety. And 7, if you see something, say something. This goes with number 6. If you see that someone's struggling, if you can see visible signs of self-harm, depression, and anxiety, tell someone in a position of power. In doing this, you can reduce risk of a suicide attempt, and you could possibly get resources to this person so that they can become better mentally. And everything that we've talked about, I think the most important takeaway is to know that this is an issue and it needs to be fixed, and we all have a part that we can play. In following these 7 guidelines of how we can help, we can lower the rate of suicide in the LGBTQ plus community and ensure that our youth are protected from mental illness.